So here's where I want to start. Could you speak directly to the person that's listening? And this is somebody who doesn't have a lot of time, but they made the time to be here to learn from you.
Okay.
What could that person expect might change about their life or feel different if they take everything to heart that you're about to teach us and share with us today, and they use it in their own life?
I find there's two big things that often happen. One, most women become more empowered and have better body positivity. And two, they have a sense of separation from the stress and their own selves. So they're able to take that step back from the stress of everything that's happening. It's kind of like that pause moment. Because when you are taking care of your body, then it feeds back into a lot of positive metrics. So the big thing that I love is watching women go through an evolution to go from being not so confident in themselves to having such empowerment to be able to stand up and say, I own this space and I'm taking it.
You know, one thing that strikes me about you already is that you actually exude that.
Oh, thanks.
Now, you have a level of presence and power in your body, and it's not just because you are in incredibly great shape in terms of muscle definition, but it's actually something that's noticeable. And so I think this goes beyond sort of that sense of separation of stress. Like what I experience in just sitting here with you is that you're actually embodied in the present and in your body. And a lot of times when we're stressed out, especially, you know, as caregivers and the amount of stuff that we do, we're up in our heads and disconnected from our body.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to really learn from you because I want to feel more like the centered confidence and calmness that you just seem to move through a space with.
I'm good with a facade. No, just kidding. Thanks. Yeah, it does come from a lot of pushback I've had in my life. So it's like being put into a pretty male dominant situation. You have to find your feet and how do you move through that space. And I found it through exercise, strength, all the stuff that we're going to talk about.
Amazing. So you have such an incredible background. And I'm actually going to read it because it's quite a bit. You know, I've talked about this when I was introducing you, but you have a PhD in exercise physiology. You're a researcher. You're a former professional athlete. You now train professional athletes. You're an expert in exercise physiology. You have a long list of other specialties like cardiovascular disease prevention, thermoregulation, women's health. You are a pioneering researcher that participates in her own studies. And you have this incredible mantra, Dr. Sims. Women are not small men.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. I laugh when people say women are not small men because when we hear it, we're like, oh, yeah, that's right. But it started from when I was teaching at Stanford and wanted to wake some of the undergrads up after lunch and afternoon sleepies come in, and I was teaching about sex differences in training or high performance. So I would start it with women are not small men. And people are like, well, of course not. Like that's, women aren't small men. But what I mean by that is everything from what happens in utero until we die is different for women than men. So when we talk about women are not small men and we see all the guidelines that are out there for exercise, all the guidelines out there for mental health, for the connections, the sociocultural pressures, we experience things differently as women than men do, but that's not ever really explained. So when we say women are not small men, it makes people take that pause and ask, well, what do you mean by that? What topic? So today, what I mean by women are not small men is we're going to dive into exercise, especially how what we do should change as we move through our lives.
What does that motto, women are not small men, mean in practice?
I think when we look right now at what's being portrayed in social media, fitness trends, the medical trends, all of that data is really drawn from men and just generalized to women, which is a huge disservice. So I want women, especially you as a listener, on this podcast to take a pause whenever you see a new trend come up or someone pushing something, to just go, well, where did this originate? How does that appropriate for me as a woman in my phase of life? And when you take that pause, you begin to have an objection to some of the things that are being pushed on you, and an objective view of how you should approach things to make it beneficial for you.
I am so glad that we're starting here, because I am constantly shocked at the things that I think I should be doing, and the things that I hear a lot of male health experts talking about, or a lot of the bro science, or a lot of the kind of bro experts, and the fitness trends that are very dude oriented. No offense to the guys. I'm just saying that it often has felt like, to me, as I've learned more and more, like, oh my God, wait a minute. We've just kind of treated women and our health almost like if you're golfing. There's the tee that's further back for the guys, and there's the tee that's a little bit like closer for the women, and we're just going to treat everybody the same, but shrink it a little bit.
Yep. Shrink and pink is what we called it in the industry.
Shrink and pink.
Shrink and pink. So we'll take running shoes or a bicycle. All they do is they make it a little bit smaller, maybe put some pink on it and say it's a woman's product.
It's so true.
I know. And it's like, wait, that's not really appropriate. You'll see in my book, there's some pink, and that's an ode to shrink and pink, because that's what people think is honoring women, by making it a little bit smaller. Let's bling it up with some color, and we're going to call it a woman's product. And that is not appropriate.